Assalamu alaikum. In today's lecture, we will study about myasthenia gravis and Guillain-Barré syndrome. Myasthenia gravis is an autoimmune disease associated with antibodies directed to the postsynaptic acetylcholine receptor at the neuromuscular junction. It is characterized by weakness of the skeletal or voluntary muscles of the body. In normal physiology, normally a chemical impulse precipitates the release of acetylcholine from the vesicles on the nerve terminal at the myoneuronal junction. The acetylcholine attaches to the receptor sites on the motor end plate and stimulates muscle contraction. Continuous binding of the acetylcholine to the receptor site is required for muscular contraction to be sustained. In this picture, autoantibody directed attack on the acetylcholine receptors in the neuromuscular junction. This attack lead to occupation of acetylcholine receptors. This will lead to decreased number of available receptors, ultimately decreased binding of the acetylcholine, which results in voluntary muscle weakness and fatigability. The exact mechanism that triggers immune response is unclear. It is thought that T cells have key role. 75% of patients with myasthenia gravis has thymic abnormalities such as thymoma or thymic hyperplasia. Symptoms of the disease involve breathing difficulty, difficulty to chew or swallow, difficulty to climb stairs, lift object, difficulty in talking, drooping position of the head, change in voice, facial paralysis, fatigue, and weakness of the eye muscles. Facial and ocular muscle weakness involves ptosis, diplopia, and bilateral facial muscle weakness. Bulbar muscle weakness involves dysarthria, difficulty in speech articulation and pronunciation, nasal voice or stuffy changes in the vocal qualities due to laryngeal involvement. Chewing may become difficult, a severe jaw weakness may cause jaw to hang open, swallowing may be difficult, dysphagia occurs, and aspiration may occur with fluids, coughing and choking occurs while drinking due to pharyngeal muscle weakness. Respiratory muscle weakness leads to shortness of breath, weakness of the intercostal muscles and the diaphragm may result in carbon dioxide retention due to hypoventilation. On the second, weakness of the pharyngeal muscles may collapse the upper airway. Diagnostic studies involve edrophonium test or also known as tensilone. Injecting edrophonium chloride tensilone may cause sudden temporary improvement in muscle strength, indicating that one may have myasthenia gravis. It blocks the enzyme acetylcholinesterase and that break down acetylcholine, thus improving the symptoms. Imaging scans involve CT scan and MRI scan to check if there is a tumor or hyperplasia in the thymus gland. Blood analysis is done for antibody titers. A blood test may reveal the presence of abnormal antibodies that disrupt the receptor site. Electromyography is done. Electromyography measures the inherent electrical potential of the muscles and the nerves innervating them. It involves inserting needles, electrodes into the skeletal muscle to measure the electrical potential. On the second comes a repetitive nerve stimulation. Electrodes are attached to the skin over the muscles to be tested. Small pulses of the electricity are sent to measure the nerve ability to send a signal to the muscle. The nerve will be tested many times to see if its ability to send signals worsens with fatigue, which indicates this disease. Medical management of the disease involve pharmacological therapy. Anticholinesterase agents such as mastinone, prostigmine, neostigmine increases concentration of acetylcholine by inhibiting its breakdown by the enzyme acetylcholinesterase. Side effects involve cholinergic crisis. Immunosuppressive therapy involve corticosteroids suppress immune response and decrease antibody production. As the dose is increased, anticholinesterase dose is reduced. On the third comes a plasmapheresis. It is a method of filtering process similar to dialysis. Blood is routed through a machine that removes the antibodies that block transmission of signals from the nerve ending to the muscle or receptor site. However, the beneficial effects usually last only a few weeks. Intravenous immunoglobulin or IVIG. This therapy provides the body with normal antibodies. Work through suppression of the abnormal antibody production may take about a week to start working, and the benefits usually last no more than 3 to 6 weeks. Surgical management of the disease involve a thymectomy may be performed. It causes immunosuppression, leading to decreased abnormal antibody production and improvement of the symptom. Complication involve myasthenic crisis. A myasthenic crisis is an exacerbation of the myasthenia gravis, life-threatening condition that causes severe weakening of the respiratory muscles. The symptoms will be an exacerbation of all the muscle weakening symptoms, especially that of respiratory muscles, leading to an acute respiratory failure requiring emergency treatment with intubation and medical mechanical ventilation. On the second comes cholinergic crisis. A cholinergic crisis is an overstimulation at the neuromuscular junction due to an excess of acetylcholine as a result of the inactivity of the acetylcholinesterase enzyme. Because anticholinesterase medication, the symptom include the slush syndrome, increased salivation, lacrimation, urinary incontinence, diarrhea, GI upsets, and emesis. Bradycardia and hypotension are also reported. Guillain-Barré syndrome. Guillain-Barré syndrome is an autoimmune attack on the peripheral nerve myelin. The result is acute rapid segmental demyelination of the peripheral nerves and some cranial nerves, producing ascending weakness with dyskinesia, inability to execute voluntary movement, hyperreflexia and paresthesias, a sensation of numbness, tingling, or a pins and needles sensation. Myelin is a complex substance that covers nerves, providing insulation and speeding the conduction of the impulses from the cell body to the dendrites. The cell that produces myelin in the peripheral nervous system is the Schwann cell. In Guillain-Barré syndrome, the Schwann cell can be spared, allowing for remyelination in the recovery phase of the disease. If damage has occurred to the axons, then regrowth is required and takes months or years and is often incomplete. Guillain-Barré syndrome is the result of a cell-mediated and humoral immune attack on peripheral nerve myelin proteins that causes inflammatory demyelination. The best accepted theory of cause is molecular mimicry, in which an infectious organism contains an amino acid that mimics the peripheral nerve myelin protein. The immune system cannot distinguish between the two proteins and attacks and destroys peripheral nerve myelin. The exact location of the immune attack within the peripheral nervous system is the ganglioside GM1B. With the autoimmune attack, there is an influx of the macrophages and other immune mediated agents that attack myelin and cause inflammation and destruction, interruption of the nerve conduction, and axonal loss. Symptoms of the disease involve ascending weakness of the extremities, respiratory failure due to demyelination of nerves that innervate diaphragm and intercostal muscles. Demyelination of the sensory fiber result in paresthesias of hands and feet. Blindness occur due to optic nerve demyelination, inability to swallow and clear secretion, bulbar muscle weakness, demyelination of vagus and glossopharyngeal nerves. Autonomic symptoms like tachybradycardia, hypotension due to demyelination of vagus nerve. Diagnostic studies involve history of increasing ascending muscle weakness, areflexia or hyporeflexia, lower absent tendon reflexes are present, history of recent viral infection. Cerebrospinal examination show a picture of high level of protein in CSF. EMG shows impulse conduction to the muscle. Medical management involve plasmapheresis. It is used to remove the antibody from the blood through machine. Immunoglobulin therapy (IVIG) is done. It blocks the production of abnormal antibodies. Anticoagulant therapy for deep vein thrombosis prophylaxis due to prolonged immobility may be done. Pain medication including non-opioid analgesics, paracetamol, and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs or gabapentin for neuropathic pain. Mechanical ventilation may be required. Nursing diagnosis involve impaired gas exchange related to respiratory muscle weakness. Interventions involve note the oxygenation saturation with oximetry, especially with activity. Measure respiratory parameter regularly. Suction as required due to increased bronchial secretions with anticholinesterase medication. Self-care deficit related to muscle weakness, general fatigue. Interventions are perform care for the patient during a very excessive muscle weakness or include family. Demonstrate energy saving techniques. Imbalanced nutrition less than body requirement related to dysphagia, intubation or muscle paralysis. Intervention for this diagnosis involve assess gag reflex and swallowing ability before feeding by mouth. Stop feeding by mouth if the patient is unable to demonstrate gag reflex or swallowing is depressed. Feed the patient through NG tube and gradually wean off the patient from the NG feed by giving trials of sips while assessing patient swallowing ability. Record intake and output. Perform nutritional consultation to evaluate calorie requirement and measure the patient body weight every day. On the fifth comes a pain related to neurological damage or neuropathy. Intervention for this pain are assess pain score and Caldera and administer analgesics. Non-pharmacological interventions, passive range of motion as tolerated, massage, mind diversional technique activities. Impaired physical mobility related to muscle weakness. Intervention for this diagnosis involve assess muscle strength at least or shift. Ensure the client's safety while ambulation, transfers from bed to chair, position changes and maintenance of proper body alignment. Maximal independence is always encouraged in active or passive range of motion every 4 hourly done, and collaborate with patient, family, occupational therapist and nutritionist to prevent complication of immobility. Teach use of assisted devices, for example cane or walker. Communication impaired related to muscular and neurological deficit. Intervention for this seventh number diagnose are lip reading, flashcards, blinking eyes, moving a finger. Collaborate with speech therapy. Others are risk for aspiration and powerlessness. These are references for this disorder, and this is all about these two disorders. Thank you so much.